Hey y'all, what's good? It's Desla. Listen to the Rising Rush podcast.
All right, welcome to the Rising Rush podcast, where we talk everything Dragon Ball Legend related, such as news, meta, hot takes, you name it. I'm your host, A-Town, alongside our other hosts, Obsto, Desla, and Glow. And we're going to kick things off with the weekly update of the 17th of April. The reveals stuff dropped as of the 16th of April, releasing some more information on the Saiyan saga, some new zenkai information, such as the zenkai Gohan Piccolo, and other specifics related to the event. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We've also got the Legends Mega Rising banner that is dropped, Road to Victory, that is currently live until the 29th of May, featuring the Yamcha and Goku from the Saiyan saga. We've also got the Ultra Rising Omen of Mastery that has also returned through the 27th of April, featuring the Ultra UI Goku. We've got some additional Chrono Crystal sales that's going to happen until the 27th of April, celebrating new banners. Legends Battle Royale is also live through the 26th of April, and the current tags that are restricted is Sun Family and Vegeta Clan, lol. We've also got updated login bonuses for the 100 million user celebration, so take that with a grain of salt. There is also Special Choice Battle that is currently live as well through the 26th, so if you need additional materials, by all means go on that. Co-op has also reset with a new Saiyan Saga Platinum equipment, so if you guys main Saiyan Saga and you want some additional stats, by all means, jump in on that. The Challenge Battle, Saiyan Saga, that's available as well through the 1st of May. There's got a lot of good materials in there, so please dive on that. We've got a new Awaken equipment for the Saiyan Saga, Let Me Go Little Brother. That's giving pure blast on the last slot for each Saiyan Saga battle member, so that may lean towards what we may be getting next. And then as for our meta talks, we're going to break down the new Yamcha and Goku units, see if they actually have a home or not, and then we'll also revisit the Ultra Gohan that's currently running rampant in the meta and see, does this new Zenkai bench require a new conversation to see if it'll bring his stats up, etc. We'll also talk about the Dragon Ball related news, and then we'll close out from there. So let's go ahead and move on and talking about the new banner and the reveals and stuff. Do you guys feel celebrated with what's been going on? We'll start off with you, Glow. What do you think about the reveals and stuff? Do you think they hit the mark, or did people go to sleep?
I ain't gonna lie, I skipped it.
Was it even worth your
I
time to
skipped.
watch?
I went back and rewatched it, but like only because people were saying that like, oh, the Yamcha might be a little good, was like a Super 17 counter. So I was like, all right, let me go back and watch it. It's all right. I feel like they missed the ball on it only being 2 units. It should have been three.
Yeah, because they did come out with a preview too for it, right? Showing like the different circle colors, kind of like fading left through right. So it made me think like we were gonna get like a Ginyu Force type banner where we're just gonna get multiple sparkings, but it looks like we just got
Yeah,
two.
and I think they fumbled that big time. Because I'm not gonna lie, if I had a nickel for every time Ginyu Force and Super Warriors got buffed and they always treated Ginyu Force better, I'd probably have 3 nickels. Because we had the EX Ginyu Force, they were fire. EX Super
Mm-hmm.
Warriors, it's EX Ginyus get a Zenkai, sure. EX Super Warriors don't get a Zenkai, and then they get like a one-off Tien. Okay, whatever. Ginyu Force gets a Sparking banner. Great banner. They are an arguable top 5 team in the game when they drop. Super Warriors get this banner. Negligible.
Man, I definitely agree
Uh,
with that because, I mean, with the units that have dropped and the Awaken equip that has came out with them, it feels like they're contradicting the build that they're trying to push for because both of these units are strike, but then they come out with an Awaken equip that gives blast.
exactly. It's like they haven't released a blast unit. Their only blast unit they've dropped is the Green Revival Gohan that's coming with a Zenkai. Everyone else has been strike based.
So maybe that's tailored towards this Zenkai Gohan Piccolo. Maybe they're gonna be great. Maybe not. Well, we'll actually have to find out and see like how either mid he's going to be or maybe meta defining, right?
Yeah, yeah. Good luck with that.
Dang, that's wild. What about you, Obsto? What do you think about the reveals and stuff? Did you see it or was it just a hard
Bro,
pass?
bro, I love Yamcha. He's my goat. Yamcha, he's the best unit in the game.
Well, I
Bro,
mean,
he's the great Yamcha. He's the desert bandit. Who can beat him? He's gonna steal your capsules, man.
Tell you. Hey, but what about him going against Super 17? Because looking at his kit, he might be a contender. Do you think?
Nah, I mean, bro,
I
the great Yamcha, he's gonna go against Super 17 and he's gonna destroy him. I know nobody can beat Super 17, but Yamcha isn't a nobody. He's the great Yamcha. He's the Desert Bandit.
We can't let this blasphemy go on for too much longer.
hold on now. Yamcha is actually solid as hell. I'll actually defend Yamcha. I can't defend the Goku.
Yeah. Like,
Until we see this, yeah, because this Yamcha, he's actually good as hell. Ignoring Super 17, even though he's like Yamcha's supposed to be accounted to him, like Yamcha does a shit ton of damage. I can't even lie.
he does. And he comes with like additional crit butts too within his kit, right?
Crit buffs, uncancelable endurance null when he enters. Like he's actually solid as hell. Like, but the thing is, he's a leader slot merchant.
Because he really doesn't have a home past that. I mean, you're not running Saiyan Saga. There's not enough units for that to be ran. I mean, the 8 Vegeta, he's runnable in today's standards. He's arguably be able to do good with his ceiling, rising rush, etc. But outside of that, like I don't know, man. Like it feels strange. Because on top of that, does 8 Vegeta buff Saiyan Saga, or is it just Saiyans and powerful opponent?
Hold on, don't quote me. Let me check right now. Think he does? If he doesn't, I'll laugh. Yes, he does buff Saiyan Saga.
Okay, whew. I was gonna say like that's got to be a saving grace, because if he didn't, I'd have been like, I don't understand what their premise here for this unit. Like with the Awaken equipment that's coming for the old LF Piccolo, that was surprising, and he already has a unique equipment. But after reviewing it, it doesn't look like it was giving much stats anyways. So do you guys think he's going to be able to do an impact when that new Awaken equipment comes out?
For who? For
the
Vegeta?
Piccolo. The Piccolo.
Oh, Piccolo, his second plat.
Yep.
Well, you need a new Awaken or his second plat?
His second plat that's coming.
His second plat? If we compare what he needs, I'm telling you right now, if this Piccolo wants even a glance at top 15, he would essentially have to get the greatest plat in the game. Like I'm not even joking with you. He needs like almost 100 damage inflicted on the plat. He needs crazy base stats. He needs the plat alone needs to give him enough HP for him to hit like at least 3.3 mil with that plat alone. Like he needs more defense. He needs cover null. He needs better shit.
Yeah, it sounds like he needs everything. Like everything that's required for a meta relevant unit to be relevant, it's going to be a requirement for him. He needs damage cut. He needs cut pen, which I believe he already has. His HP post transformation is already high, but I mean, more is better, right? For him to even contend within this current meta. And he's also a blast type unit, so maybe they're playing off of that, where you have this revival Gohan Piccolo with that Piccolo, and then whatever the new LF is going to be that they're going to drop on a random Tuesday. I could see a team playing off that, possibly. But outside of that, Opsto, did anything else pop up at you for the reveals and stuff?
I mean, it was cool getting like the Goku, but again, like it was kind of weird because they did a reveal and stuff for a Mega Rising banner. When if you go back, like not even last year, but earlier this year, we didn't get a reveals and stuff. Like officially for like Super 17, we didn't get one for Ultra Gohan, and I'm like, we're getting one for a Mega Rising banner.
Yeah, it's very questionable on where they choose to kind of display hype units, because
It's odd.
And this Ultra Gohan, like he's like a celebration worthy type unit. Like he's
He's absolute, like he could be an anniversary headliner, but no, they don't even give him a reveals.
Nope. But his kid is definitely worth it though. Like he's terrorizing the meta as we speak. And with this new bench, it might even do even more, but I guess we'll see how all that kind of plays out. What about you, Desley? Did you watch the reveals and stuff that dropped on Tuesday, or was it a hard pass?
I mean, I was like half paying attention to it while I was at work. I won't even lie to you. As for the actual reveal itself, the only really impactful news we got from that was that LFs can get like 2 plats now.
Yeah.
That's about it. Like currently, I'm kind of with Glow on this, where I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like Piccolo got his Zenkai like 3 years ago now, right? Yeah, like it's gonna take divine intervention for him to be anywhere near top 15, let alone meta relevant. As for I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's just it's more so a matter of where for me right now, like I think the reason why they opted to even bother with the reveals and stuff is to give the promo for Sandland. I'm pretty sure that's why.
Yeah.
Since that was like basically that reveals and stuff was just like a glorified ad, and then them rambling on and like sucking themselves off for their April
My
Fools,
God.
like like different events they've done, dude. Like that was literally the epitome of that entire reveal, dude. Like what the fucking do? Like whatever. It just not a good return back to the reveals and stuff is what I'll say. But I am optimistic, I guess, to see how our second LF plat will look. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really too particularly hyped about like the character choice, but whatever. It's fine. As for the actual units themselves, though, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you and say that I'm happy that they wasted those animations on that dog water Goku, but whatever. Yamcha was great. It's the fact of that he relies so much on leader slot. I think even after we get like a Saiyan Saga LF, it's still gonna be a matter of like you're not running him outside of like I think the only step I've seen him like be used on at this point is just like LOE with Golden and then the LFza. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I get where you're coming from though. Like it's like why? Like there were
Yeah.
so many other units they could have chose for Saiyan Saga to hype the banner out. They chose a
Or like
Yamcha,
dropped an LF,
yeah, or
like
drop an
at all.
LF.
That might have helped out
Chill out.
during the 100 million user celebration.
But I mean, we'll have to see where it goes from here because this celebration is supposed to go on until the 10th, I believe, of May. The banner itself goes until the 29th of May, which we're territories into 6th anniversary, which are probably going to do the countdown and stuff the week prior as they start to build up hype. But
Right.
I mean, outside of that, I don't see any reason for anyone to summon off of this banner unless you're a content creator and you just want to show like, hey, this is how this unit is performing, etc. But for like any true diehard person that mains any relevant tags, I don't see anyone maining Saiyan Saga and really promoting any kind of value long term within this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I shouldn't need to say it, but in case there's people who need to hear it, don't summon.
Yeah.
Just, blanket safety statement, just to make sure we are all on the same page about that. But yeah, I don't know. I
Hold
don't
on.
know.
Glow said, Glow, you believe people should summon?
Yeah, I mean, listen, summon for what you like, but we will judge you.
We will ask questions why. When we're so close to the celebration, you could have got something a whole lot better. Like why choose a Honda Civic when you can go and get a Porsche for the same price? You know what I mean? But
First, I'm going with a challenge. I want to bring up one.
yeah.
I want to see Desla. Hypothetically, say this Piccolo has like 3 times stats on this plat of what LF Bardock has. Do you think that's enough to save him?
What's Elif Bardock's plan again?
LF Bardock does
Check.
35% both defenses, 35% to both offenses, and 40% damage inflicted, and then 15% HP and some new unique. So hypothetically, do you think 80%, not even 80, like let's say 70% to both defenses and some damage cut, 80% to both offenses, 80% damage inflicted, and like 20% HP? Do you think that's enough to like save that Piccolo?
I mean, he needs more still. That's the problem. Like you mentioned before that he doesn't have cover null.
Mm.
Like, exactly. It's the problem. I don't think is the stats. I think the problem is the mechanics, and that's the thing we're seeing with all these what's it called? All these plats that they've been giving to these 1% is that yeah, they're like sure they can eat hits, sure they can do damage, but they don't have the mechanics to compete.
I
The only
agree.
one they gave like anything relevant mechanic wise was like I'd say like LF Forku. I mean, not LF Forku, the purple Forku.
Yeah, that's because he already had stuff built in prior to even
Mm-hmm.
getting his plat. So
Yeah. And even with the plat, we see his impact in the meta currently. Like our expectations were high when we saw his plat come out, but it seemed it really didn't help him that much to make him usable
I
within
mean,
the
to be
current.
fair, like I'm not even trying to cope it. Like if you're just genuinely like wanting to, like you just wake up one day and you're feeling particularly spiteful towards Ultra Gohan, dude, he's a phenomenal counter towards him. Don't get me like wrong at this like whatsoever. The fact that he has like I think it's 30 counts of like endurance milling when he's like his main's procced. Lock in blue, green card that gives unconditional like stacking card draw speed. He's doing a lot and supporting on switch out. Like you name it, he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to, just rub your hands together and say, I'm praying for the downfall of every Ultra Gohan user today, then hey, that's your guy. He can help you out with the agenda. So yeah, I'll definitely since we're in definitely a bit of a dead period, I'll probably give him a whirl again just to see how he does. Because I mean, it's my favorite purple in the game, so why not?
The yellows in the current climate. There's not many yellows that's threatening for purples right now. I mean, you have Super
It's
Baby 2 for
really
those who
just
summon.
Ultra UI. It's about it.
Yep, that's literally it. Which his banner is back, so more people may summon or get his stars up, so that could trickle some yellows a little higher if people are able to pull them. But I don't know. Um,
Yeah, I probably just run Beast with 4Q, and I'll be all right.
yep. But as for the units itself, we'll start off with you, Glow. What do you think of the Yamcha and the Goku overall? Are they usable?
Yamcha is more than usable. He's a really good unit. The problem is Yamcha's kind of a leader slot merchant. So it's like if you want a team that is always gonna like benefit units in leader slot, just run him on LOE at that point.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, it's like, yeah, you'll be just on leader slot on LOE. LOE has like the support to like gas it up. You run him, Alefza, and the Ultra Go Frieza. I mean, the Purple Force from Frieza, and like the new Ultra Golden Frieza, and then you'll be alright. But the problem is that it's just teams. Him as a unit is good as hell. His teams are just trash.
Yeah.
And the Goku is built so fucking weird. Like this Goku is made for a dead ally, but he has stuff that allows you to either sack him or somebody else off. He doesn't really do shit until somebody else is dead. And at the same time, it's the same thing with Fiku. It's like for whatever is coming in mind. But
Mm-hmm.
the difference is that Fiku at his core is a support unit. So he's always gonna have the support to just be good. His Goku is not a support unit. He's some offensive or second man or last man standing unit that's made to like he wants you to force him to be the second or last man standing unit. He's not competent enough when you have three people left.
Yeah.
Like, for him to be good, the coming LF has to essentially be like a top five unit that's like the purple LF cell, the one that blows up.
I agree with that. And I remember you made a comment on the Fiku's Zenkai ability where he gets additional health restoration when someone pops a Rising
Mhm.
Rush. With this new Goku, is this the unit that they want people to use with this Fiku?
I guess, but it's like, why? No, he goes type neutral defensively, reduces ally sub count, -50 to arts power. That's when he's in. When he's not in, yeah, he doesn't give HP on anything for rush. It makes no sense. He does give power reduction, which I guess works with Fiku, but like he's not giving any HP or anything on rush.
And you're looking at the yellow melee Goku, right?
Oh, you might be looking at the wrong Goku. I can't lie.
Hold on. No fucking way. Yes, I am
That's why
looking
I'm
at the
like,
wrong Goku. My gosh.
Were
They
you looking
both
at
look the same.
the yellow like free to play
I ain't
Frieza
gonna lie,
saga?
Yeah, I
so for a
was.
second,
Bro,
Man.
next week.
Why would people use them? I don't understand. But I mean, for a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being usable and 1 is completely throw this guy into the trash, what would you rank this Goku?
Because Goku is like, before somebody's dead, he's a one. With somebody dead, he's like a three.
So you heard it here, folks. Don't even bother running this guy. And I've seen some people post on Twitter where they would summon and get nothing but Yamcha, but no Gokus, and they're like, "Why?" And I'm like, "You won. You don't want Goku. Trust us. You don't want him."
You know,
But as for the Yamcha itself, so you've mentioned that this guy is more than usable. What about his kit that's usable?
so this Yamcha, first of all, he comes in with uncancelable endurance null for like 15 counts. Meaning you can essentially just throw him in and rush and he's killing somebody. And you can't wipe his buff effect. It's uncancelable. His green card is pretty good for allowing him to get cover null, draw two cards, gets key damage, and he has the anti reduction effect, which is pretty good. His blue card is actually pretty solid for when the enemy still has like three people left.
Mm-hmm.
So it does a good amount of his arts cost gets pretty low. His main having the lock in and canceling enemy buff effects. He his crit rate stuff makes him actually hit pretty hard. When he enters the battlefield, sealing the enemy's blast cards is like really good against Super 17 and a lot of these blast based units.
Mm-hmm.
Like even when changing cover, having -2 card draw speed levels for 3 counts. That's solid. Like he has a bunch of solid stuff. Even on his death buffs, he gives like a shit ton. He gives you 2 Dragon Balls, heals your allies by 15%, gives your allies 35% damage, reduce enemy key by 100, -100% to their key recovery for 10 counts, makes all their R cost +5 for 10 counts, locks them in for 5 counts. Like, he does a lot of good stuff. Like, there's nothing to really hate Yamcha for other than, like, I'm telling you right now, they, like, it pisses me off because it's a great kit. And I'm not hating the fact that it's Yamcha as a character. I'm hating the fact that he has no team. Like, say you had this team, right, of
Mm-hmm.
Yamcha and Goku. If all they had, if they had dropped a third unit that was, say, like an endurance unit or like a tanky unit, a third unit for this team, no, I don't think I'd have a problem with it at all because you could designate Yamcha as the early game. Yamcha dies, you have a defensive pivot on whatever that third unit would be, and then when Yamcha dies, Goku picks up the slack. I would have been okay. I would have had no problem with it. But it's like that's not what the devs are thinking, and I don't think they're thinking sometimes when they do shit like this.
Agreed. But I mean, overall, like we're seeing his green card gives what, 2 cards and key. I'm seeing a trend with that. Do you think this is going to be the new standard with green cards, where they're going to give 2 cards instead of 1 card?
I've had this conversation with a friend saying that essentially that green cards are starting to time stop green cards. Like for the longest time, time stop green cards have always been the best because you actually have a chance to see stuff. But I think we're getting to a point where green cards might be getting a little too strong,
Yeah.
like in general, because we're having AOE green cards that lock you in. As much as like I hate Super 17's green card, Super 17's green card is actually balanced.
I mean, yeah,
Everything else
you
I
have to
hate
work
about
for it.
it.
Yeah.
If you get hit by a Super 17 green card, that's on you. You can't blame nobody but yourself. That's on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you didn't pay attention. You took a risky play and you got caught.
And now you lose because essentially he's a dead
Like,
character.
yeah, but then we're seeing units like Gohan's green card removes all his debuffs, so you can't even switch trying to stop his combo because he'll be immune. He locks you in. He gets key in a card. Like, come on now. Like, what we doing? Frieza's green card. The fact that he still has that gauge glitch is ridiculous.
Mm.
Um, Davies green card I think is solid because you need to land it for it to really pop off. That's fair. But like we're getting to a point where like a lot of these units, these newer units are starting to get like you're really pushing the envelope on like cracked green cards, and I don't like the trend they're making.
Yeah. It seems like this game is definitely going through a upward slope to power creep. And as units come out, it's becoming a more standard approach to just make them do more than what they need to do, especially the AoE greens. Do you think we're going to see more units with AoE greens at this point, or are they going to slow down on that?
I really hope they slow down on it because if they don't slow down on AoE greens, we're gonna get to a point where units are just gonna have the anti-green card effect like Jiren and Beast have.
Yeah. Which, I mean, essentially that's useful though. Like it catches a lot of people off guard whenever they do pop the green card and they see them you do that blocking animation. That could
Yeah, it's
be
good.
that could definitely be an approach that people take. But overall with this Yamcha, 1 out of 5, 5 being usable, 1 being just throw him in the vault. Is he usable?
He's a 5 to me.
Okay, so we got a good star or a good ranking for this unit. That's good to see. I mean, he's definitely giving a lot of abilities. His Z ability is good. It's giving Saiyan Saga and blue and purple, which is great. So you can throw him on other teams. So that's always a positive thing to see. What about you, Obsto? What is your initial impressions on the Yamcha and Goku?
Like, I'm pretty much the same thing Glow was saying. Like, I'm genuinely surprised that they made a Yamcha as good as he is, despite him not having like any feasible team outside of the leader slot. But it's a shame what they did to Goku. He should have been better. Like what Glow was saying. What they could have done is that they like Yamcha dies and then Goku picks up the slack. Except Goku is the slack.
You would have sacked him off first before Yamcha at this point.
Unironically, like there's no reason to use this Goku.
Yeah, I
He,
agree.
he needs a plat. Not the Piccolo. He needs a plat.
He just came out. They could have just, turned him into a Chao Su. Like, and if they would just change his name, I'd accept that, or maybe a TN. That would have been better. a Tien and Yamcha banner, but
I'm surprised we haven't gotten like a Tien and Chiaotzu like assist unit from the Saiyan saga. That could have been cool, but no, we got this bum ass Goku.
yeah, it was actually disappointing. But maybe they have time. It could be a random banner that they drop in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
It's not going to be Tien and Chiaotzu. No, that's an actually cool unit that they could do. No, it's gonna be like a Vegeta or something,
Oh
and then
no.
he's gonna be bad because of his name.
I hope not. But remember what Desla says is saying it's before Frieza saga, so he's potentially could be good.
Maybe.
But as for like a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being usable or 5 being usable and 1 being throw him in the vault, what would you give the Yamcha and the Goku?
Oh, Yamcha's definitely a 5. Goku, before anyone dies, is a 0. When someone dies, he's a 1.
Terrible. What about you, Desla? What is your take on these 2 new units?
So again, I made my point about it clear earlier that I'm still not particularly happy with the fact that they wasted these animations for a Goku on such a washed kit because wow, it's bad. As for where I stand with Yamcha, again, he is being hard carried by the leader slot. You take the mechanic out of the game, he has 0 home and is not being seen at all. As for Goku, though, again, he is a crutch, or well, he needs a crutch, and until that crutch condition is fulfilled for him to where he can actually perform well, he is worthless and not worth using. Currently, it's like y'all were mentioning earlier a little bit ago that I would have vastly preferred if like we got a Z Fighter banner instead of this, where it would have been like maybe like the moment where like Krillin reacted when Yamcha was dead and like wasted all the Scythemen. That could be one for him for his super attack. And you could have Yamcha obviously if he dies first, he does his little like signature death pose and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Then you could have again like Ops was mentioning, you could have a assist Tien and Chaozu. Like that would be sick. I'm not gonna lie. And maybe it's where I'm trying to think of how it would go. Maybe they can like draw a like those purple awakening cards. I think like the last one we got with that was like the EX Ginyu who like body swaps with it.
No,
But
wasn't it BoJack?
It was
It's
Bojack.
Bojack.
oh, that's right. Oh my
How
God, it's
could
been
you
a
forget
minute.
about Chad Jack?
I haven't used him in like 3 years, man. Anyway,
Bro, he has to be always on your mind.
I mean, yeah, you're right. It just would have been so sick because you could have used that awakening card to have Chaozu blow up on somebody, could have done some good AoE damage, and then it transitions into like Tien with like I guess like a rage amp or something like that, and he's like a god like last man standing to where you can only blow up with Chaozu if you're last man with him,
Mm-hmm.
and that it'd be like it would kind of work in a way where like Yamcha's the early game like hitting hard out of the gate, do all kinds of crazy damage, but he's meant to be sacked off first. Then you go into Krillin, who obviously reacts to him dying, and you could literally just put Goku's kit on this Krillin, hypothetically speaking, but make him good as well. And then on top of that, like you have him die, and then it transitions into Tien being able to actually use Chaozu blowing up. Tien gets all jacked up, and
Mm-hmm.
if you want, because it was honestly a cool moment, you could give that one-handed tri-beam in LF, and that could have been the LF on the banner. You could have had 2 1%.
I'd
But
like that.
again, that would have been a good idea. So of course it didn't happen. Yeah, overall though, Goku's a 0 and Yamcha is a 4. And the only reason why I don't give him a 5 is because Leader Slot carries his ass hard. So
Respectable, respectable. As for me, I mean, this Goku is forgettable. It even had me reading the wrong kit in the beginning because both these dudes look the fucking same, and I'm just like, well, maybe one's better than the other. No, they're equally just as bad. But this Yamcha definitely does a lot of great things. As Desla and everybody else mentioned, very leader slot dependent. The one fun fact is Saiyan Saga does have a actual HP bench, so you could possibly get away with running like a Seiken Saga best team. But seeing on how some of the equips are leading towards like pure blast based type stats, that might not even be the best variant for that to run. And then if you want to run, this Yamcha on like a blast pace type Saiyan Saga team, his blast doesn't even match up too well. Like it's a good like 50,000 almost like difference between each of the stats. Like he's super leaning towards like being a strike based unit. So I don't even think that would work. No one's using a maxed out Yamcha with only 229,000 blast attack. That doesn't really fit the bill. But as for his meta relevancy, he can try to put Super 17 in check. That'd be great to see. But I mean, not a lot of people are going to summon for him. I hope not, especially with, the anniversary that's coming around the corner. So for this Goku, negative 100, don't even bother. He has no home. Why use him when there's, Ultra UI banner that's currently live? Don't even do it. And then this Yamcha, I would say about a 4. I mean, he's good, but again, like his teams, he just needs better teams. And yeah, you can use the leader slot, but then he doesn't have like a Zenkai bench that can really like help him absorb attacks or give him, the additional push that he may need. That's it for the meta unit breakdown here. Now I wanted to revisit this Ultra Gohan due to this Gohan Piccolo Zenkai that's going to be coming possibly next week. Because we talked on a couple of podcast episodes ago when Sax was on giving our predictions. I was hoping that they would not Zenkai this Gohan Piccolo, because that's going to give Ultra Gohan a reliable bench to use. And, depending on how his stats are, giving power down or just, fixing him not having, half HP, etc., he could be a possible contender for like a yellow, green. And then you also have Green Gohan that's going to get the Zenkai. And then you can run like yellow UI with like LF Bardock on the bench giving HP, and then having the Ultra Gohan on the leader side getting the HP. Like, I'm low-key scared of what's going to happen next week. We'll start off with you, Deza. Do you think his Zenkai is going to give any impact to this Ultra Gohan, or is it just nothing to worry about?
I mean, it's definitely gonna be nice because it's like Gohan's first actual proper like Zenkai bench that he actually has access to with a good Z ability. So that's definitely a plus. As for his actual meta impact, the Gohan and Piccolo Zenkai, I mean, it's yet to be seen, but it's honestly a toss-up. I don't really know what route they'll go with him, if they just want to make him, like, usable. That's about it. Or they want to go the Red Cell route where, like, I mean, he got some nice stuff here and there, but the big thing he's doing is just, definitely some damage, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see. I don't know. Like, I'm going to probably not really have too many, I guess, prolonged thoughts about it because obviously we don't have a kit to look at. So as for where I think I'll have to predict him, what route he goes in, I'd say that it's literally a toss-up. You could go either way. I don't really think that, like, I could lean confidently one way or the other. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because it all the ball is down to is his kit. But now that this Ultra Gohan is going to have a proper Zenkai bench, we may see him more, I guess, he's already being seen as is, but now he'll probably even be more of an issue once he comes out with an actual Zenkai bench. But what do you think, Glow? Do you think this will have any kind of impact, or is it just nothing to worry about?
Hey, that's Frieza food. That's another unit. And if Frieza launches that ult on you, your whole team is dying.
That is true. Because he is a purple, or he is a green, so he's going to take additional damage against the purple. And most likely, they're probably not going to give him too much like cut. So he could be giving the team full damage off that ult. Man, does Ultra Frieza do additional damage to Sun Family or no? I don't think he does, right?
No, he just AoEs like crazy.
But outside of like Ultra Gohan's placement, do you see like Goku Bardock teams being more relevant within like team building, or are the people just gonna lean towards just having the current setup with Gohan?
I feel like he's just not gonna be ran unless you really like hybrids. He's really not gonna be ran. You're just gonna put him on bench, honestly.
Gotcha. And then what about you, Obsto? Do you think this Gohan Piccolo Zenkai is going to make any impact, or is it nothing to worry about?
In terms of actual gameplay, probably not. Of course he could, because this is our second revived Zenkai. And the only one that we have to go off is Revival Cell, who's pretty good. He can be he's definitely usable. But in terms of everything not gameplay related, there's a 50-50 chance that his Z ability is just going to be for Saiyan, or Zenkai ability, that's just going to be for Saiyan Saga instead of like hybrids, because most of every Zenkai that we've gotten for a campaign like this has been for the Saga itself. Like
I think they already confirmed it's Green Sun Family.
It's Green Sun Family.
Really? Okay.
So
yeah, like I skimmed it because I said earlier, like I was happy attention to the actual look reveal and stuff. I was like,
yeah, I guess I missed that.
Yeah, no, that's the reason why I even really care about the Zenkai, dude. I'll be honest with you, they're not fumbling the Z ability with it, so.
Okay, yeah, thank God.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
So okay, yeah, he's gonna have a little bit of value because of that, but aside from that, it's a 50-50 if he's actually going to be usable in game.
And I think that's my biggest fear overall, is him just being a excellent zenkai bench for this Ultra Gohan. I'm currently running a unique team where I'm running Bola as lead, and it's universe reps, and they're doing pretty good. But I played one match yesterday and I lost the time, and because I'm a dummy, I'm not using my rush whenever I need to. I keep going with this idea like, oh, this is gonna be a no rush match, and then 10 seconds down, they pop the rush on my unit and they win by damage. So I really need to kind of break that mold. But with that Gohan having proper Zenkai bench, giving blast and also the additional Zenkai stats, his blast attack may be doing even further, like 2-carding, maybe 3-carding a lot of the units in the game. But hopefully I'm not just, hopefully I'm just dreaming, and this is not going to really flip the meta on its head, and we can continue to roll out with Ultra Frieza as he decimates the Gohans whenever we run into him. So that is it for the meta talks here. Now on for Dragon Ball related news. Dragon Ball FighterZ has released a new patch fixing the visual bugs going on. So if you want to check that out, if you play Dragon Ball FighterZ, please do. And then also they released some new images for the Dragon Ball Sparking game that's supposed to be released later on this year. And future Gohan is confirmed to be in it with one arm, which is pretty interesting. So I wonder how his gameplay mechanics will look, and also when they do clash battles, etc. Will they have like special animations to where he's only using his one arm, or is it going to look wonky, or what? But that is it for this week's episode. I know it's not a lot, but we'll continue to touch base as we go through each week. We know this campaign is not going to be the most lively campaign there is, but once we get into the cusp of the 6-year anniversary, that's when things will start picking up, and we're going to see some bombs being dropped by the Legends community and the dev team. So for everybody, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
See ya.
See you.